Namaste, everybody. Namaste. Sorry for coming back so fast. Went to work. It was a bad Monday. Okay, I think of Mondays. I always think of genocide. Wherever you are in the world, girl, I always think of you. I think of you all the time, but I think of you a lot on Mondays because genocide hates Mondays. And my sister Karen said that she wasn't having a good Monday either. And I didn't have a good Monday, even though I might look fresh as Daisy. Okay? Anyway, nobody noticed that I dyed my hair black. I went back to black. I can't see the purple. Can you see purple? Well, after one washing, you'll start to see it. I put Arctic Fox because I was so sick of it being hag hair. But I did it too late. So I was up to 2:30 last night. So that could be why I'm tired. But usually I have a good day because it's my favorite school. But I didn't get any note. Well, no, I'm lying. I got one note. Okay. But usually, I walk in and people, teachers and secretaries say hi to me and hardly anybody, said anything to me. Maybe they said hi after I said hi, good morning. I always try to start the day with a good morning. Sorry, I shouldn't have this eyeshadow that's like kind of whitish pink because it makes me look washed out even more. And oh my God, I know why I'm so tired. Well, besides going to sleep at like 2. Because I dye in my hair, so you're washing it out. First I had to take a shower. That happened around 11 or almost 12, and then I had to put procedure in my hair, and that happened. It does smell good though. But nobody said anything, like none of the kids. Usually kids always notice. So finally, one kid said, I said, nobody notices my hair? Isn't, that I did my hair? And they go, did you dye your hair? And I go, yeah, finally. At the end of the day, you notice? Usually kids always notice that, but maybe 4th graders are different from 3rd graders. I think that I'm happier with 3rd graders. I have more of a magical day with 3rd graders. Anyhow, I said, yeah. They go, oh, no more purple. I like the purple. And I go, I do too. Don't worry. As I wash this, the purple's going to come back out again. But I just wanted to get the white and the gray that was back here. And I almost did a video, but I figured you guys were sick of me because I did so many videos. Well, I think I just did 2, but I did long video, for Virgo. Anyhow, sorry, I'm scratching my toes. What I remembered is, because whenever this gets swollen and it gets like a hooded look, that's because, and I had a different shirt on today, different earrings, red earrings, and a dark navy blue shirt that had little indications, but the sleeves were all like, I don't know, it looked weird. I'm going to throw that shirt out. Yeah, I do that. I throw that shirt. If I have a bad day, really horrible day, and I have a certain outfit on, I usually almost always, not the pants, come on, let's not get crazy, but I usually throw the shirt out. I really have to think about it, anyhow, everybody has bad days, but it was just that it wasn't like a terrible day, but it was, up there. It was like people who would usually be good for me and hug me and say hi to me didn't. And instead, I had kids, I'm not doing it. Like one of my best kids that is really good, he was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the work. And then I finally took him outside and I said, why are you acting like this? You're being rude to me, you're being disrespectful to me. And I'm just, you go to school, you have to do work. Everybody does. You just have to try your best. And he was like, well, how would you like it if you were in the gym and you were last to pick on a team, and then you didn't get picked for a team because the other kid that was picked was going to be, was crying because he didn't want to be on the team with you. And so then the gym teacher didn't put me on any teams. And I just sat out watching everybody else play because everybody hates me. And then I was like, who does this boy remind me of? It's somebody familiar. I was like, that's not true. How about your friends at home? I don't have any friends at home. How about your mom and dad? And then I think he said his dad died. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, and I tried to refocus, I was losing, I was trying to take out everything in my power. And I was like, I know there's a lot of kids in this class that like you, but maybe they just don't always say it. And then he said, he has a sister, but he goes, she's even more mean to me. She never wants me around. And I go, well, how old is she? 12. I go, well, that's how big sisters treat you. I said, I had big sisters and a big brother, and that's how they treat you. That doesn't mean they don't like you, but you're their little brother, so, or their little sister. They have to treat you, a certain way because, keep you in line because you're the little brother. And he was like, I just sit in my room and watch movies by myself with nobody. And I was like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of somebody. Anyway, no, I don't think I used to say things like that. I did say, and then I told him a story from my 4th grade docket. I said, I had one friend in the class when I wasn't in a fight with her, beating her up. But I didn't tell him that part. I said, I had one friend in my class, and when other girl came in, or 2 other girls, they didn't like me. So they would take her away from me, and she would always choose them, being friends with them, over me. Okay? So he seemed to like that story. And he was like, really? Like, he finally looked at me. And he was like, well, I don't mean to be rude, but, how would you like it? And I said, I understand. I understand what you're feeling. I said, but you know what? You got to be strong. And you just got to keep on. I said, do you think that I dropped out of 4th grade because nobody was my friend and only sometimes one person was my friend and my teacher was really mean to me? I said, I don't think your teacher is really mean to you. And he's like, some of them are. And I go, well, not me. And he goes, yeah, you're a little bit mean now. Or when you're making me do my work. I said, well, that's what my job is. You have to do your work. I said, because you have to try your best and start thinking positively. And he was like, I go, we got to go back in now, because then the other kids were starting to, get antsy. And they were off the hook today. They were not loving. They were acting as if it was a Friday. And then there was way too much work to do. And I think that's what threw them off, because not that they don't do work, but it was complicated and it was a lot. And then you have ADHD kids, you have kids that can't read, and they're expected to do all this reading and writing. And even though I had it on the board, I had it on the chart paper, and that the regular teacher doesn't write it all out. What I was trying to say is, my eyes are swollen because I forgot to take my thyroid pill again, because I woke up on the couch after doing my hair to 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, let's have a soda. DC. Awkward. Okay. Oh. So he did come up to me and say, sorry. Am I being good now, and do I get a prize? I was like, nobody's getting a prize. Nobody's getting a prize today. I said, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see how Tuesday goes. Usually Tuesday's a little bit better, I hope. Anyway, so as you could see from the title of this video, what I want to talk about is I used to do, sorry, I keep on taking it off, putting it on again. I'm in a bad way. I did trim my bangs. I think I did a better job at it. Anyhow, I like feeling back to black. I was getting sick of the purple. To tell you, I'm gonna be honest. I finally had my fill of the purple. Okay, not saying I'm done with it, because as this washes out, you're gonna start seeing the purple again. I have to get it professionally done. But you know what I've been thinking about lately? I'm sorry. When I think about hair and I talk about hair care, makes me happy. It makes me feel, happier. I've been thinking about red. Okay, not red, but like I always wanted Auburn, kind of like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, but not my whole. I used to always want to get my whole head that color, right? I've tried it. I went to places, and I did boxes, and it never would come out that color. Then I would do eggplant. But now that I have, I could see I didn't do a good job. I didn't do a great job. I just slathered. I just went like this with my hand. I went like, I took it. I went. I have one of those brushes that you have, and those professional bowls. I had no patience for it. It was friggin' almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So I said, I'm not gonna go look for that brush, because you end up doing the brush, and it ends up, you end up going like this anyway, like as if it's shampoo. I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know why I think I am. Ever since 2020, or before 2020, I've been doing this. Anyway, I've been thinking about, like, how my hair is black, or supposed to be black, where it's purple, to have like Auburn, reddish. But I would probably screw it up, or they would probably screw it up. So I bought a wig. I bought a wig that's like a 1980s, and it's black with the red coming through it. So I could at least wear the wig during my videos. And unboxings. I have unboxed what Crystal Medicine gave me, and I thank you, and I am going to do the unboxing, but please give me Tuesday I work, but Wednesday I probably am off. I might be off. I want to be off because I have a doctor's appointment, but anyhow, I might still work, but please give me till Wednesday or my next day off, and I will do the unboxing for Tracy and for Rhonda, okay? Because I really want to show everybody the beautiful things that you guys gave me, and I'm happy and grateful, and I appreciate it. Okay, so getting back to why I wanted to pull over and just talk a little psychic talk, a little hair talk. Bad Day Monday. Years ago, back in the day, when I was doing not that long ago, I used to do Murder Mondays. Whether I was working a full day or not, I would do Murder Mondays, okay? And I would have my notes, and I would have my commentary. I don't have my notes. This is straight from my head. I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about Evelyn Boswell. So I probably put that in the title, because, your girl's got to get some views, So Evelyn Boswell, I want to talk about Dylan Rounds. I want to talk about Julissa Fuentes. I want to talk about a little bit about Summer Moon. There was one other person. Okay. It'll probably come to me. Okay. So I used to do this thing, Murder Mondays, right? It wasn't to be funny, but maybe a little cheeky. But I talk about murder, and the cases any day of the week, whenever I want. But Murder Mondays is kind of like an update. I used to do little updates on psychically and also factually. Cheers. Oh, Debbie Collier. Cheers. Okay. Now, this is for entertainment reasons only. This is Everything is from my opinion. Nobody is guilty until they're tried in a court of law. Oh, unicorn. My unicorn just came up. How was my day? My day was not good, okay? It wasn't horrible, but there was lots of screams, crying. I made some headway with some people that were terrible on last Thursday, but good this time. Anyhow, but then other people were terrible that I was really surprised about. But anyway, Monday's over. Almost over. But what I want to say is, okay, Evelyn Boswell, if in case you haven't been watching, that's a little baby that went missing from Tennessee. Her mother did it. Her mother is, if you can even call the monster, Megan. Her name is Megan. Is her last name Boswell? I think it is. Megan Boswell. She's in prison, and I just couldn't stand it, but I had to watch it. It was like a 45-minute preliminary hearing, and she was trying to get her lawyer fired, as far as I know. She had the friggin' painter's mask on. I mean, come on. She's just trying to cover up her guilt, but she was crying. But she's crying for those tears. What I heard from Spirit is those tears for herself, because she knows she's friggin' screwed. And so she's trying to get pictures taken out so that the jury can't see the pictures of how she murdered her little baby girl. And I think they're gonna still keep them in. And she wanted to get rid of her lawyer. And the judge basically said a no and a no, okay? Sorry, not sorry, step aside, okay? So if you want to watch it, if you were into the, one thing about the Megan Boswell case, I think I did 2 videos on her. I was talking about Shanann, because who is my spirit guide, and I was asking her some questions, like I always do when I'm on cases. And I believe, wasn't she around the time of Gannon or the year after? No, she might have been around the same time as Gannon. But I said the date, March 6th, when I was channeling with the baby. I mean, the baby, she couldn't talk, but I was channeling with the baby's spirit guide. And I'm pretty sure, just put in Mystic Brady, Megan Boswell. I think there's probably 1 or maybe 2 videos that I actually have a picture of Megan. I'm not Megan. The baby, not the monster. The baby, Evelyn, little baby Evelyn. Anybody could have taken that baby. She could have even given him to the grandfather, the father, the grandfather of the baby. But no, she had to murder her because she's jealous. Sociopath, psychopath. Anyway, sorry, but I have no patience for these murderers. I don't have any patience for. Anyway, when I was channeling with Shanann, I was talking to Cece, and talking with Bella, and then I got that message about March 6th, and go back to the video, and that's when she was found. Anyhow, so it was several months after she was killed. I think she was last seen in October or that Thanksgiving, and she was found in March. So anyhow, I don't know if you guys know, but she was killed, they said, by suffocation. She wrapped her up with some kind of foil over her face. Little baby, okay? Or was she 14 months? Wrapped her up, so there was some suffocation there. So even if she did survive, I don't know necessarily if they say she was choked, but she was definitely suffocated, and then wrapped up with like 3 different blankets and put in garbage bags, and then put into a garbage can, like 2 garbage cans. But she put her in this way, where her legs were up here and her head was here. And so her neck was super extended into her back. So, in other words, all the pressure, the way she was sitting, the way she was put into this can and was in an upward position. So imagine your feet are up there and your head is there. So her neck was super extended into her spine. So she was like, her body was like the letter S. And all the plastic and the blankets were so tight, and the tin foil, whatever kind of foil she used, was against her face. It was very reminiscent of Kaylee Anthony. Or Casey Anthony, the baby. That was put against her, it was against her face so tightly that in her skin, or what they saw of her skin, was the imprint of the fabric of the blanket, of the blankets and the tinfoil. Okay? I know it's gross, but you know what? It has to be said, because you know what it made me think of? Where is Summer? Another baby from Tennessee. Okay? And if you think that people can't do this, and her excuse was that her and her boyfriend rolled over and didn't know it was an accident, it was an accidental suffocation, and she got scared, so she just, wrapped the baby up and was afraid. That was one of her stories. She had so many stories. She told so many lies about her mother. I mean, I'm sure her mother wasn't the mother of the year to her, but she had all these adjudications, and also of the father of the baby. She even accused the father of the baby. Meanwhile, he was in the military. Okay? So they were stupid lies. But anyhow, not to be graphic or anything, but this is how the baby was found. And then she was stuffed into a toy, a house, a little toy house that was built for kids to play in, but no kids have been there for years. So there was all spider webs and everything, and that's where she stuffed that baby and went about her business to act as if she didn't have a kid, or that the mother stole her kid or had her kid. At least she's in jail. At least she's behind bars. We can't ever get that baby back. But now there's all these other cases where they're not behind bars. Summer Wells, okay? Where is she? Psychically, I don't believe that she was taken by a stranger. I don't. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. Okay? But as a psychic, as an empath, as a medium, slash 2X, okay? I feel the scenario was dry drowning, accidental drowning, where you could seem like you're okay after you are in the water and then out of the water. Even an adult could have dry drowning, okay? But you can be saved if you go to the hospital, and they could try to save you, okay? But I believe they were afraid to go to the hospital. Okay, why? Because there was SA available on her body. Okay? Because the girl was underweight. The baby, Summer Moon, was underweight. She had bruises on her. In pictures, she had bruises on her. She had dirt all over her. Okay? Somebody's got to be accountable for that. Somebody has to be accountable for friggin' abusing and neglecting that child. Why isn't anybody in jail for that? Okay, yeah, Don is in jail, but for other reasons. And he's getting out this month, very soon. Somebody better friggin' be arrested for that baby going missing and being abused on her mother and grandmother's watch and father's watch as well. But supposedly he was at work. So her mother and grandmother, Grandis, have to come to the forefront, and somebody better have clink clink pretty soon. Anyhow, I don't want to get my blood pressure up because summer comes to me, and especially as of late, and she comes in my dreams, and usually I don't remember my dreams. Usually they're nightmares, and they're very scary. But like right now, I feel like she's doing her usual thing. For some reason, her hair is short. So, honey, are you trying to tell me something by your hair being short? It was like, I didn't know what she was saying because she's like a little bit of a lisp or speech impediment. She's like, it's a clue, it's a clue, it's a clue, it's a clue, it's a clue that when her hair is short. It's a clue. Yeah, because the CPS was supposedly coming, and they could have taken her hair sample, because whatever goes in your body comes out on your hair. Okay? That's why if your hair is not in good shape or it's getting too thin, that means you're missing vital vitamins, and sleep, okay? Nutrition. And that's why, you can improve your hair with different vitamins. I definitely believe that. Nutrition. Anyway, but people were smoking around her, were people doing drugs, allegedly. That could be detected in her hair, or if she ingested anything, that could be detected in her hair. Even alcohol, okay? But I have not left Warriors Park. I haven't left there. Because that was the last, she's even saying, like, she puts her head on my shoulder. She just goes like that, like kind of leaning into me. She's kind of bopping her little blonde head into my head, into my shoulder, and then into my side of my face. I love you so much. And I see her blue eyes. And I don't want to cry. All day, especially when I was at school, I kept seeing like a shadow person, not a bad energy. It was just like, I would go like that because I thought a kid was on the side of my desk going towards the wall. Like, no kids are supposed to be back there. I have a thing with that. Like, I'm like, that's teacher land back there behind my desk, especially I can't even move my neck. So they're supposed to stand over in front of me, and then they could sit at the table that's right there, and then I could help them cross from me. But I thought somebody was behind me, like going to the side of me. I thought a little kid like ran, and I looked, all the kids were in their seats, and I looked over there and nobody was there, and I was like, wow, that was a strong energy. But it wasn't like a scary shadow person. It didn't even have any color. It was just like, I felt it. And it's on my right side all day. And now right now. Okay? And if you see the mess I have on my seat. Okay. She doesn't have that much room to sit. Anyhow, my point being, I never give up on my cases. And like, I think that watching Evelyn Boswell being found, being happy that the murderer is in jail, that's the only thing I'm happy about. Gannon Storch, murderer, monster mom, monster stepmom, in jail. Okay, totally useless, disgusting, despicable people. There was no reason to hurt the child. Why not hurt yourself? Make yourself go away instead of hurting this innocent child. Take the child. Say, I bring them to the police department. Bring them to the fire department. Bring them, drop them off with a nice neighbor, and the nice neighbor could take care of them and then get them to somebody else. I can't take people that, because they failed, because they are such a despicable, disgusting, selfish, insane jerk off, okay? They have to make these little children suffer and hurt them and then make them disappear. But guess what? The psychics out here and the people that love kids and love humanity aren't going to forget about Summer, just like we didn't forget about Evelyn, okay? And Dylan Thomas, that's a poet, Dylan Rounds, Julissa Fuentes, I have something to say about her. But I my heart, there's always a case that, you know, if you know me, I go back to Gannon and Shanann because, you know, and Suzanne, those are my cases. Those are my girls and boys and people that I still talk to in spirit, in the spirit world. Okay? Okay, please, dear God, protect me and don't let me absorb the negative energy that the children have felt, or that the missing adults have felt. Thank you. Archangel Michael, please watch out for the children and the people right now who are being abused or terrorized, and find the missing. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, I feel a little bit better now. Yeah, because as an empath, you tend to absorb everything, and like I can't let myself get into that state, because I still have to go home, I still have to make dinner, still have to, you know, help my family, and I have to get up tomorrow at 6 o'clock and go to work and deal with 48, you know, 2 classes of 4th graders, 48 4th graders, and I don't want to be destroyed emotionally. But I did want to say that we don't forget, we never forget, we never put down, empaths don't put down the case until some mofo is behind those bars, and some psychopath that could just go out and keep on abusing kids or keep on having kids to abuse. And that doesn't sit well with me. No. And it doesn't sit well with anybody who's a human being out there, but especially people who make it their life's work to think about how can we find the missing. We have to sleep, we have to eat, and we have to take care of our emotional stability, because we can't always just be, because if we were always going to put ourselves out there, it's like having no skin and somebody's constantly burning us or putting acid on us. Okay, so you have to protect yourself. That's why I said that prayer to Archangel Michael. You have to sage yourself. You have to Palo Santo up. I am just so tired that, like, I'm looking at this, but I don't have any. See, Virgo. It's my sages in here and Palo Santo's in here, but I don't have the energy to even do it. I don't. because I didn't take my thyroid medicine, and I hardly had any sleep. But I did want to say those few things about Evelyn. Okay, Summer. We are not, because I know my soul sisters, Crystal Medicine, his Sally, her Jack, Ruby at Texas Median, Genocide, Kim Magical, Comeback, and all of us. We're not going to just be, we have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to get rest, we have to take care of ourselves and our family. But we're not going to we're not going to let it go. We're not letting it go, okay? Until somebody is behind those goddamn bars for the rest of their life, okay? Then I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Like Sincere and Classic, they haven't been found, but those two bastards are by those sick perverts friggin' ruined the lives of their other kids, and of course took the lives of Sincere and Classic, thereby taking the lives of the other 4 kids too, because they witnessed it. They were pushed into doing bad things to Sincere and Classic. They call me Grandma. They tell me Grandma, because I told you they call me Grandma. They say, Grandma, don't think about that. We don't want you to think about that. They're showing me a turtle. They're showing me a frog. Okay. You're the best grandsons in the whole world. And we're gonna find you. It might be after I'm dead. It might be soon. It might be later. It's up to God. Okay? Let's take a cleansing breath, okay? Empty. Okay. One more. Put your feet flat on the floor. I always cross my legs. Uncross them when you're trying to get stabilized and ground yourself. Look at a tree. There's a nice tree right here. Okay. Deep breath in. Let it out. Push it out. Okay. I'm not forgetting you. And then, certain readers and empaths resonate more with certain cases, and you can't force it. You can't force yourself to okay, I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go in deep for Abby and Libby. If you can't feel it, and it's just, or for the longest time, for years, I got a stop sign. I got I think it was Libby would put her hand up stop. No, don't go there. You don't want to go there. You're not strong enough for the energy. You're not strong enough to see the things that you'll see. And if you don't believe me, just go to a Comeback, Kim Magical, her channel, a Comeback, because she went into great detail about what happened to Abby and Libby, and she couldn't even say half the stuff because it's just it's terrible. And, that case at least has one person in jail and closing in on the second one. It's are you waiting for 10 years to go by? Okay. It gets you aggravated, but, all we have are the police and law enforcement and FBI and private detectives, who I love private detectives because I feel like they do a lot of work for very little money. And of course the psychics. So some cases resonate with you. Like I know Oakley, Carlson, I think, Crystal Medicine, went over to investigate where she was, where she was living, because she lives in the same state, but she made a trip and, hotel room and everything, and did many drawings, many readings. So if you, want information, she's very in touch with, I never did Oakley because I couldn't tap in. And if you can't tap in, that's all right. I mean, you can't, like, what I hear from Spirit is, Katrina, you can't do every single case. You can't. You just would be a mess. You can't do every single case and still be a teacher, still be a wife, a parent, a grandmother, a great-grandmother to Sincere and Classic. Anyway, you just can't do every case. It's too depressing. And you just don't resonate as highly. Like, yeah, I could flip over a few cards and see but sometimes my spirit guides, they warn me. They'll say, yes, go. Yeah, you gotta go. They'll push me. Like Gannon, he has pushed me on so many cases, especially teenagers. He'll tell me to go look for them. Gannon. All right. Anyhow, so let me just get this out, because, I have my ADD, but when I'm tired, I'm a little bit more focused because I'm so tired. So I can't, like, bing all over the place. I've drank a whole, like, carafe of coffee, this cup, and then I this large cup is for the morning. Then I have a thermos, and it's not even helping. And then Diet Coke has caffeine in it, which I had one at lunch, but I didn't finish it. So I have this little, I said, let me just take a Diet Coke in the car. Maybe after work, I can do a little downloading of my energy and then just go home. So I wanted to say about Dylan. And my girl Ruby, just a Texas medium, she has a lot of videos on Dylan, and so does Awakened Natalie from Awakened Intuitives Tarot. Okay, Natalie, who I did a little video for, a little shout out for yesterday. She's a sweetheart. She's done a lot on Dylan too. Very long reads on Dylan. So it's like, we collab? Do we talk about cases together? Yes, we do. We certainly do. But some cases resonate more with one reader than the other. So Crystal Medicine has a lot on Dylan as well. She does the EVP and she's had reads on him. And Ruby, she has loads of readings on him. And locations and mappings. But what I want to say about Dylan, I think I did one video that was long. It was a long one. And if you want to know what my feeling is, go back to that. Just put in Mystic Brady Dylan Rounds, and you will see, what I got when I was tapped in, when I meditated. But what I'm getting recently is Dylan tells me that the money, follow the money around the mother. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Do I think the mother killed her son? No, I don't. But there's something weird with the money. And her doing the books. He's like, she did my books. So I don't really know what that means. Did she do his taxes, or was she in charge of his financial things? And did she get jealous of something? But I don't feel like, she said, put a hit out on my son. I don't think that. But I feel like he's telling me to tell people, law enforcement, follow her money. Something about her money in the trucks. Anything else? How about your location? That would be nice. Throw it at me. Throw it at us. Like, Tara, Spirit Whisperer, she had a location. I don't know if it was looked into or not. People like to make fun of psychics, and our work that takes us months, weeks, hours, days, weeks, months, sometimes years. And all we're trying to do is help find the missing. And always for free. I mean, most people. Most of us. And Ruby said, I think a mine, but on that property, like he was moved. I definitely know someone was moved several times. And I think law enforcement even said that. There's a few locations for her. But Dylan, if I can ask you, sweetheart, could you give us a location where we could find you, your physical body? Okay. I don't feel like he was moved out of state. I feel like I see a tunnel. I see like a hole, which would be a mine. Like, yeah, just throw him in there. But like somebody bothering to take off his clothes. So because, a lot of times you could be found by your clothes. But if you just throw somebody in some sort of mine or a hole without their clothes, then their body disintegrates. I'm sorry, this is gross. I'm not getting a strong answer, but like he's kind of just like giving me a thumbs up, like, yeah, like keep it going, as if like we're playing like a game, like, guess, like you give a person a hint and he's like, yes, getting colder, getting hotter, no, now you're cold. Okay. So my intuitive feeling is that it's like, first he was in one location and people were like, oh, we got to move him from there because definitely he's going to get found. And the only other thing that I get, because I'm not, a big, I only did that one reading. Is there any pig farms? I know he had a farm, but with nothing really on it. Were there pigs or around that area or somewhere close? Is there a pig farm? And I did get him in that it's like a horse, where you pull a horse, you put a horse on the back of your car. I'm sorry, I don't know the terms. I am not a farmer or a rancher. I'm a city girl, okay? Placed in West Texas. Anyhow, somebody told me what it was called, but it's like metal, and I think he was restrained. And like Ruby says, I feel that something was planned, but not murder. Like they were gonna try to get money. Oh, we'll give you your son back if you give us X amount of dollars. But then somehow I feel like that money was gonna not go to the kidnappers, but somehow go to Candace. Okay, I don't know. That's allegedly, in my opinion. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say. So refer to Ruby's readings, Natalie's readings from Awakened Intuitive Tarot, and of course Crystal Medicine has done a lot for sweet Dylan. Okay, they're like, move along. Now Julissa comes up. Okay, now with Julissa, and I'm sorry to say this, of course this is my opinion, but it's really getting hot in here. I didn't have the thing on right. The family knows something else. That they're religious, religious family, and I get all that. And it's a little bit embarrassing. But the family, the brother, a cousin, everything's really close. Did you notice that not one friend has spoken in public on her behalf? That's weird. Same thing with and it's like Dylan steps up and he's like, yeah, like me too. Not one friend besides, like, with Dylan, an old man that's 60 something years old. I'm sorry, I could say that because I'm 59. So 60 something year old and a 19-year-old, and he was hanging out with him since he's 17. And where's the friends, though? There's not one goddamn friend that could stand up for Julissa and a 22-year-old and stand up and say, hey, yeah, we're trying to find my friend Julissa. Every weekend we're looking around. Doesn't make sense. Why? They're trying to hide something. Why? Because they know something. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? With Julissa, I still get her car face down. I do get an accident, but there are people that know, what were they arguing about? And I still say, and somebody said something in one of my Julissa videos. They said, what are you talking about that her social media was wiped clean? No, it wasn't. It's still there. Okay? All right. It's still there? Oh, yeah. It's still there. She just posted something this past Easter. Okay. Well, she went missing in August of 2022. Easter, as far as I know, is in like March, April. Okay? There was no posting for July. There was no posting, I don't even think, in June. And all the postings that she did do was like just, mediocre. Okay? So the parents don't want to say that she was drinking, or maybe they weren't at the party, but there were family members and friends and cousins. So I'm hearing cousin. Ask my cousin. Julissa, would your cousin know where you are? No, she goes, she doesn't know where I am, but she knew what was going on. Okay, and then there's a male cousin too. Okay? And my brother. Ask my bro. Okay. Yeah, and of course, nobody wants to be in trouble. Nobody wants to get anybody else in trouble. Everybody just wants to find Julissa. But if you really want to find Julissa, your daughter, your cousin, your friend, where are you, friends? Where are you, friends? Yeah. Right? She's like, Katrina, I know, right? Oh, she has a message for her mother. And she's like, Daddy, don't be mad at me. She loves you very much, and she thank you for all you're doing. And to my aunt, she's calling her aunt something different. She's calling her TT? She's calling her something different. But she's telling me, well, Katrina, that means my aunt. Okay. So maybe she's saying it in Spanish. Okay. All right. So, Julissa, before I close out, because I'm really tired, I didn't think this was going to go on so long, but there was a lot of messages and there was a lot of things I wanted to say. Maybe I'll bring back Murder Mondays or Missing Mondays. How about missing? So it's not so scary. But I feel when people, I could be wrong, but I don't feel Julissa's in the physical world. If she was in the physical world, she would be on that phone. She's a fighter. She's very strong. She's still strong in heaven. But she wants to be found. Because she was like, Katrina, my family needs to be at peace. They can't go on like this. They're going to have a nervous breakdown, a heart attack, ulcers. Already it's happening, she's saying. I'm worried about my family's health. Somebody's got to talk. Yeah, the truth shall set them free. That's true. It was a mistake. It's an accident. It's a mistake. That's what she's saying. It's a mistake. It's my fault. It's a mistake. It's an accident. She's getting upset. Don't be upset, sweetheart. We're going to figure this out. What's in the dark always comes to light. And she's like, as much as they love me, Katrina, I want them to know how much I love them back and appreciate them back. She's so passionate. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Allow me to deliver these messages, please, dear God. And give me peace as I deliver them, not fear. Thank you. Okay. Oh, it's an emotional roller coaster. Okay, so she goes, Katrina, you know how you had somebody visiting you to the side of you, to the right of you, but I felt it was a kid. Okay? That's why I kept looking, because I was like a shadow boxer, because I don't want the kids back there, because I have prizes back there. And plus, it's a teacher zone, all right? It's like three feet of like an area where kids shouldn't be back there. Anyway, it's a teacher thing, but this thing, it kept going like, shoo. And I'd be like, don't go back there. And I was like, all the kids were still sitting over there, and they were looking at me like I was like spooked, but in a good way. Anyhow, she goes, Katrina, you know how you had that visitor? She goes, that's what I do to my family. So people in Julissa Fuentes' family, do you have some kind of feeling like you're in the room alone and then you're not in the room alone? Okay? But it's not a scary thing. She's just visiting, okay? So if you feel like it's her, she goes, Katrina, it's me, okay? If you feel like it's her, just say, hi, Julissa, what can we do to find you? And maybe you'll hear a song on the radio or on your phone, or maybe you'll hear somebody will call you and it'll remind you of something, or a place that you didn't check yet. Or somebody you forgot to talk to about this incident. And she's like, go back to the 6th of August. Is that the day before you went missing? Yeah. Replay the steps. Write down everything you remember from even the 5th, from August 5th. 2 days before, 1 day before, then that day. She still says, find the car, find me. I don't feel like it was in a chop shop and spray painted a different color. I don't get that. Or people like it's in some rich person's shed and they spray paint, they burned it and stuff. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they did that. I'm not getting hot on that feeling. So I'm just giving you what I get. Anything else, Julissa? Thank you for talking with me and being with me. Don't stop trying to find me. I won't, sweetheart. I won't. I'll keep on doing videos about you. I'll keep on reminding people. Sorry. Oh, God. This is so hard. Okay, it's easier for me to tell you with my eyes closed. So that's what I'm gonna do. She's showing me. She's standing like on a, like, I want to say a cliff, but it's not that high of a cliff. It's kind of like, maybe it's called a ravine, and it's that beige color, sandy kind of beige color, very, very dry, very dry. It's almost like mud. You had mud, and then the sun came out, and it dried up so, dry. So if you pick it up, it's like clay in your hand, and mixture of little sandy type of pebbles, gray and black, and a couple little brown, but gray and black. But anyhow, she's standing there, and I look down, and Julissa's not tall. She's my height. I think she's 5'3". I'm 5'2.5". And I look down. I look next to her. She's holding Summer's hand, and Summer's hair is short. I don't know why. I've had other visions of Summer with the hair long. They said don't be attached to that right now. That's not the message. But she's holding Summer's hand, so that's why I feel like they're together. But she doesn't want Summer to be forgotten either. So she said to me, keep looking for me, and keep looking for her too. She's my little buddy. Namaste, everybody.